Whether it's here we go again or here we go again for you in F1 24 depends largely on how long you haven't played a current F1 game and how willing you are to pay full price for an annual update. EA and Codemasters have tweaked the career mode this year and added a few things that the community has been asking for. The Champions Edition of F1 24 will be available in just under a week's time, starting on May 28th, with buyers of the Standard Edition starting May 31st. We've already been able to spend a few hours with a preview version of the brand new F1 game, and today we'll tell you what the improved driving physics feel like, if the new features make the career more exciting, and what we're still missing. Welcome back to Overtake, I'm Michel, and let's start with the elephant in the room, as many of you will want to know what the handling and feel of F1 24 will be like. Publisher EA and developer Codemasters have promised some improvements to the tire model, suspension system and aerodynamics. If you jump back and forth between F1 23 and 24, a few things are immediately noticeable. The steering ratio with the wheel is slightly more direct in 24, the default value of 400 degrees feels similar to like 340 degrees on F1 23. The physics feel a bit more refined than the previous games in terms of responsiveness, modulating braking, and the feel of different tires and track temperatures. Without any assists enabled, it is challenging but rewarding to master. You will encounter some pretty sudden slides under power, but these can often be caught. Perhaps the handling is a little too forgiving in this regard, as F1 cars are quite heavy these days, but quick hands will come in good as you try to keep going straight. The same goes for smooth pedal inputs, especially on a wet track. F1 cars do not have ABS or traction control, so without these aids, they can be quite difficult to tame. Remember, you have a 1000 horsepower, 798 kilograms single-seater at your disposal. When a high downforce car with slicks loses grip, you don't have much time to react. Considering the wide audience of F1 games and a bigger focus on controllers, I think Codemasters has found a good sweet spot in communicating the frequency of driving conditions to the players so that you can catch it. It can sometimes feel a little artificial on the wheel, as it's not as deep and detailed as the more popular sim racing titles, but it's fun and it still takes a lot of practice to get really fast, like on F1 esports level for example. The braking in F1 24 struck us as a particularly nice improvement. Modulating the brakes and avoiding lockups works well. If you see smoke on the front wheel, it is usually too late, but the loss of grip is also well communicated by the force feedback, and also acoustically, this whole sensoric system is very well tuned. Before we jump into the career changes and the new game mode, we kindly ask you to like, subscribe and hit that bell if you enjoy this type of content. Thank you very much. F1 24's career mode has been given some extra meat. If you're really new to it, you'll be overwhelmed by all the different features, currencies, values, systems and experience bars. Don't let that put you off though, most of it works in the background and meshes well together. For years, fans have wanted to be able to race as one of the official F1, F2 or junior drivers, and now it's finally possible. Creating your own driver is still possible, even though we've been wondering for years when a cool character editor would finally arrive. It is also possible to join the F1 circus with one of the icons. For some it might feel out of place to start a season with Senna, Schumi or Häkkinen, but it's your career and completely optional. You may have noticed that the driver rating is much more prominent than in previous years. In F1 24, the driver you control also has these ratings, much like in traditional sports games like FIFA or the NHL series. These ratings also change based on your performance on track, making the grid a dynamic environment as you progress through your season. And it has an immersive role-playing feel to it. Not only that, but the team internal driver recognition shows the impact you have on your team's development, giving you advantages for R&D parts, bonuses prices for weekly resources or vice versa if you are the number 2 driver. These ratings change based on results, so you can lose your status or improve it by having a long streak mid-season. The rivalry system is also improved in that sense. The new specialists who work as external consultants and come to the races from time to time give additional goals and bonuses, so the research and development system becomes a bit more dynamic and deeper, especially since the team colleague is now busy with development too.
Okay, this is a quali sim. We've estimated the times our closest rivals will be doing, so that's what we need to beat. Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
There are many small, clever changes, new cutscenes, and new additions that simply make the career feel more intense. As the season progresses, elements such as driver changes, secret contract meetings, and more surprises will be added. The customization of driving aids, session length, rules, opponent difficulty, and even a shorter race calendar were already possible, but should not go unmentioned here. A 100% season with all 24 tracks of the current season is a project that will take a while to complete. By the way, the AI did a fairly good job on the track as well. They defend, they attack, they respect you. Sometimes they are a bit slow in certain places on the track, sometimes they have more grip than you'd expect, but this is all the nuances and we knew that already from the previous games. So far we haven't seen any major misfires and the pace can also be fine-tuned in the settings. If you're looking for a change of pace and variety and want to compare yourself with others despite your single-player experience, the career challenge could be for you. We find the idea really interesting. F124 presents us with certain career scenarios and episodes to conquer. The preview showed the first 2 races of a section with Max Verstappen, in which the race length was rather short. You get points for each goal you reach, with the different difficulty settings acting as a point multiplier. The harder the setting, the more points you get. All of those systems from the normal career, such as practice challenge for resource points, specialists, ratings, are also on board. Everyone who plays these scenarios will be ranked in the leaderboards, giving players a new way to compete against each other without actually racing each other. Rather, it is about who can master certain career scenarios the best.
Yeah, very lovely lad. Really good result. We had good race pace. Very happy with that.
This mode is a great idea and could have a lot of potential. What do you think? Not everyone has the time to race online, or they might not want to do due to the countless stories of open lobby carnage. This way they can still compete in a race setting, unlike in time trial, and see how they rank among other F124 players. 2-player co-op career is also a thing again, and with the release, René and I are already pretty motivated to tackle the season, hopefully with less bugs than last year. You remember what happened when Joe and René did it with F123.
Will it be sunny for you and rainy for me, or? Okay, it's raining for me.
It's not raining for me.
Look at that. It's so funny.
That's absolutely ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense to race. This is really sad. Retire.
It's really hard to judge whether the aforementioned innovations justify a full price of $70 or more for the console or Champions editions, also considering the fact that there were no driver changes for the teams in 2024. In the end, you have to decide for yourself. In any case, our first impression is that you can definitely have a good time with F124. You know what you get. It may not appeal to the hardcore sim racer, but it doesn't have to. Let's not forget that the F1 games are probably the most important gateway to our hobby and the reason for many out there to buy their first steering wheel. We will follow up with more gameplay and a comparison of the updated tracks tomorrow. Soon also with an in-depth review of the release version of F124, including VR hands-on, controller impressions, more details on how it feels with a wheel, and so on. See you then.